if in the Georgian period and the Victorian period they managed mass housing on a scale fairly economically, but with enough charm that 100, 200 years, 150 years later, we still appreciate it. Why can't we do that today? Are we building of that sort of quality, that enough charm that people would want to retain those apartments and houses? We hadn't used brick before in many buildings, principally because brick tends to be misused really for its real purpose. So brick is still made as the original brick dimensions, the same brick density for strength to become load bearing. So if we look across the street, we'll find various bonds of brick that are actually load bearing. So they hold up the floor structure and the roof structure of the buildings. If it's used as effectively a ventilated rain screen, but supporting itself, it doesn't need to be in the form of a stretcher bond with mortar joints, sealing it completely, pretending to be a piece of superstructure. It can be opened up to demonstrate the fact that it is just a rain screen, and hence that's why we've then left those gaps in there to advertise, if you like, what its purpose is. If we double stacked it, suddenly the bricks effectively become quite large as a piece of texture and give the building a little bit more seriousness and mass that then contrasts with the sort of domesticity of the building. So as you then approach from a distance, it's got a certain texture. As you approach it, it gives a reassuring firmness, and then slowly as you get closer and closer and actually handle parts of the building, the wicker, for instance, the door handles, the gate handles, there's a sort of drop-in scale from the larger firmness to the delight of the small and intimate. We certainly aim to make a larger balcony as possible. It's a more Hermann Hertzberg approach of balconies, where it's a social space. If you wanted to, you can talk to your neighbour above or below. More often than not, on apartment buildings that are quite close to the street, the lower levels you'll see wrapped in rattan screens to allow for privacy for the occupants. So we thought, well, instead of wrapping rattan later on, why don't we weave the rattan, or rather in this case, the wicker, through that truss at the beginning? And that sort of played on some of the very original consultations we had with some of the neighbours, specifically the school, where the teachers were asking the children what should buildings be made of. So fairy tales of the little pigs, they shouldn't be made of sticks, they shouldn't be made of wood, they should be made of brick. And we were sort of trying to tell the kids, actually, we've made it of wood, we've wrapped it in brick, and then we've made the balconies out of straw.